Okay, so third grade, welcome back. So for science this week, we are going to continue talking about living things, and we're going to look at a specific living thing, one that's really appropriate for this time of the year, and that are spiders. So how many of you have ever been outside and have noticed just nature, the trees around you, the animals, the plants, the things around you? How many of you have ever seen a spider either in nature or in your house? I know I have. What kinds of spiders have you seen? Have you seen spider webs? How do you feel about spiders? Because some people hate spiders. I have a friend who is terrified of spiders. And then there are some people who don't mind them. I don't really mind spiders. Do I love them? No, but do they terrify me? No. I'm going to show you 4 pictures of 4 different kinds of spider webs, because when you think about a spider web, most of us think there's just one kind, but there's not. There's more than one kind of spider web. So we look here. You can see there are 4 different kinds of spider webs. There's cobwebs, and it kind of almost looks like it's all kind of interlaced together. There's something that looks like a sheet web. Mrs. Gillens can see it's a lot on her bushes, and I'll see it almost looks like there's just a sheet on top of my bushes at home. There are funnel webs right here. These almost look like a tunnel or a funnel that the spider can go down into. I sometimes get these on my car in the morning. And then there are orb webs. When we think of spider webs, the orb web is what we think of, right? And it's attached to something and it looks like this. This is the spider web we all tend to think about. So there is definitely more than one kind of spider web. There's not just one spider web. There are many, many spider webs. So I'm going to read you a book about spider webs. It's called Next Time You See a Spider Web. So you see a really cool picture of a spider web. Look at how close up it is. Next time you see a spider web, take a few moments to observe it carefully. Do you see a pattern to the web, or does it look like a tangled mess? Follow the lines at the edges of the web. Can you figure out what they are attached to? Do you see a spider on the web? Is there anything trapped in the web? Gently touch the outer edge of the web. How does it feel? How does it move when you tap it with your finger? Spider webs are some of the most fascinating structures in nature. You can find them in many places and in different shapes and sizes. Some have elegant patterns and others look like a jumble of threads. Have you ever wondered why spiders make webs? So we can see almost like a sheet web there, isn't it? Food! Spider webs are traps designed to catch food for spiders to eat. Spiders eat other animals, mostly insects and other small invertebrates. Web-building spiders catch their prey in many different ways, using different types of webs. Look how cool this picture is of the spider web. You've probably seen a spider web that looks like a mess of threads. These are known as tangled webs or cobwebs. When an insect flies into or walks over this kind of web, it becomes entangled in the silk threads, making it easy for the spider to catch the insect. You may have noticed a web that lies flat across the grass or on a bush. These webs are called sheet webs. The spider creates a sheet of silk and weaves special strands above it. When an insect flies into the top threads, it gets knocked down and captured in the sheet below. You can see these different threads. Let me get up a little bit closer so you can see them a little bit closer. You can see the sheet web right there. And then here, you can see the cobweb right there. Another interesting kind of web is a funnel web. These webs are wide at the top and get smaller at the base. The spider hides inside the funnel and waits. When it feels an insect walking across the web, the spider rushes across the web and grabs its prey. But perhaps the most well-known type of spider web is the orb web. These beautiful and elaborate webs look like the wheel of a bicycle with threads connecting each spoke. When an insect flies into the web, it becomes trapped in sticky silk. The spider, usually waiting in the center of the web or hiding nearby, feels the vibrations on the threads and rushes in to get its prey. So you can see the funnel web right there. And then here you can see the orb web. Look at how intricate and how delicate that is. A spider web is a marvelous trap because it gives the spider the ability to sense an area much larger than itself. A spider can feel vibrations through the silk and know exactly when and where something touches its web. Just think. With its web, an orb-weaving spider that might be the size of a dime has the ability to sense an area larger than a dinner plate. If you have ever accidentally walked through a spider web, you probably found it difficult to get the web off of you. I know I have. This is because many spider webs are sticky. However, spiders are able to move around in their webs quickly and easily without getting stuck. Have you ever wondered why spiders don't get trapped in their own webs? Look at that orb web. Look at how cool that is. How efficient that is, and how sticky it is sticking to that person's finger. There are several reasons why spiders don't get caught in their own traps. One reason is that not all spider silk is sticky. Orb-weaving spiders appear to know which parts of their webs are sticky and which parts are not, and they tend to avoid the sticky parts. Another reason is that spiders have tiny structures on the ends of their legs that reduce their contact with the silk. Finally, some spiders actually have a non-stick coating on their legs that keeps them from sticking to the web. Spider silk is made in silk glands inside the spider's body. The silk is liquid when it is in the silk glands and becomes solid as the spider pulls it out of its body through special structures called spinnerets. The spider pulls the silk out with its legs and can combine the thin strands that come out of its spinnerets to make different kinds of threads. Can you find the spider spinnerets in this picture? So let me get it the right way. Can you see the spinnerets there? It's really hard to see, but they're there. Spiders have an extraordinary ability to make different kinds of silk depending on the job they need to do. For example, an orb weaver uses strong, tight silk to build the frame and radial lines or spokes of the web. Then it uses a thinner, more elastic type of silk to make a spiral to connect the spokes. Finally, it creates a second spiral with sticky silk to trap the prey. It is astonishing that these really tiny, small creatures are able to make such elaborate and efficient traps without a single lesson. Spiders are born knowing how to build webs. They don't need anyone to teach them. And we remember that is called a genetic trait. They are born with it. So look at that spider web. And then you have that one right there. So boys and girls, these really, really tiny animals are able to create these really elaborate webs that are just so creative and clever and catch their prey very, very easily. So there's some questions that I want you to go and answer that Mr. Rush has posted and I have posted in our Google Classrooms. And then if you have any questions, please reach out and we'll talk a little bit more about this in our Google Meets.